tomorrow. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know what set me if it could flee. Me I fi take away me sense. Me I fi take away me sense. Me I fi hide like a thief in the night. Me I fi get out of sight. Me I fi take away me sense. I fi take away me sense.
Greetings, kings and queens. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. Today is Wednesday, and when it's Wednesday, we have our Caribbean feature. But today in our Caribbean feature is none other than Mrs. Marva Bernard and also Miss Shamera Sterling. And they will be talking to us about their contribution in netball, and of course, they're also giving titles for the year in netball. So we're going to ask them about all of that and many, many more. I got Max Juanette, Flavius, Courtney, and Francine are busy this morning. They will be joining us late. So in the meantime, sit and stay. Don't go nowhere. We will be right back.
Take away myself, I have to utilize I breathe. Show the eye a clean pair of heels. I say, yeah.
Woman, sit upon the throne of glory. About her gonna tell you a true story. That'll make the mythical knights and Davon Silver.
Wishing you was filled with happiness.
What a mercy, yeah.
With love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs, yeah. And heaven felt warm like a tree seed.
What a monster!
And the rivers of love you were plant, yeah. Your promise will make me taste to surrender. Angel Lord, you're especially saint, yeah. Wish you the best and filled with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. Your kisses and hugs,
Yo,
yeah.
the woman forget to pamper. She forget to the woman. No watch no step, she delicate woman. Forget tights and respect.
Yes, a woman that must get enough heights and respect. And that's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to pay tribute to Caribbean women. But let me get Max Juanette, Courtney, and Flavius in on this morning. Top of the morning, Max Juanette, top of the morning.
Grand Rising, Franco, Flavius, Courtney, Francine, guests and viewers. How you doing?
Well, I'm good. What's happening in your neck of the woods?
Well, you know what's going on. It's nice and sunny for now, but we're going to have some thunderstorms today. So, this is Florida.
Good forecast. And Courtney, what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Yes, well, it's been raining all night and it's now overcast. So we are expecting more rain later on. So, but it doesn't bother me at times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just try to stay indoors and away from the people, as you know, because I've been like on the road a few times and seen so many people without masks. So.
Understand, my brother.
Yeah.
Flavius, what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Same old. Good morning, everyone.
Top of the morning.
Grand Rising, Flavius.
Yeah, sunshine. I don't know what will happen later because today they fly the gate again. Last week when they did, it was chaos. So everybody want to get everything done that should have been done, in the lockdown days. So I suspect that today will be more of the same.
Okay.
Everybody rushing, and not to mention that we still haven't really come to a proper decision about what will happen next week for school. So there are a lot of things that is, pending right now.
All right, I see
Lot of things
Francine
pending.
there. I see Francine there. Francine, top of the morning. Welcome, Francine. What's happening in your neck of the woods?
Morning, Francine. Just passing through. Francine, tired.
Morning, Francine.
Grand Rising, Francine.
Morning. Let me give you a quick look at all Francine. Looking just.
Oh,
Still up on the front. Still up on the front line. Still on the
on
front
the
line.
front line. Yeah.
Dedicated.
In terms of opening of school, they're trying to vaccinate at least 65% before opening.
Yeah.
So they start online September 6th, and then we go from there. Yesterday was a good outcome. They had a blitz yesterday at Kingston College, and it was amazing. The process was smooth. The people were very cooperative. The team, they had an excellent team. They worked, trust me, it was one of the smoothest operations ever. I have to say kudos to Kingston College. Honestly speaking,
Power to the Fortis.
Yes, man, it was amazing. It was something to talk about. It was smooth. If you see the crowd that was there and persons went through, it was nothing. It was awesome. The team was excellent, honestly.
Wonderful.
Right. And I mean, it wasn't just for the students only, because they had the family members there as well. And persons from the neighboring communities were there. So they didn't play selfish and just give it to their family only. It was open. It started as a family setting, but then it opened to the neighboring community. So it was good. It was really good yesterday. Yeah, man. So here again, I left work at 10:30 last night, back at work this morning again. So it's rough, but somebody has to do it.
Nice.
Yep.
You're dedicated.
Wonderful.
That's beautiful.
Wonderful.
So she coming on the front line.
Wonderful.
She working on the front line. We're glad to see you anyway.
Commendable, Francine. Commendable.
Yes.
Always happy to see you. We miss you. We don't see you enough.
See me here.
Looking good.
Good to see you. Yeah.
All right, so that's from me. Bye. I'll listen, but hardly turning on the mic. So I'm here.
All right.
Okay.
I will send some big ups to all them nurses there this morning. All right? Big ups.
Yeah, but all the crew.
Love and respect.
All the ladies on the front line. All right, my people. So I'm going to give Flavius the honors this morning to bring in our guest this morning. She's no stranger to us, so I'm going to just let Flavius do it after this. All right, Flavius, take it away.
Yes, good morning all, good morning. A special good morning to our special guest, Miss Marva Bernard. Like Franco said, no stranger to the Real Stuff podcast, and of course doing a fabulous job. So welcome Marva.
Okay. Thanks for having me this morning. I hope my background isn't becoming a little psychedelic. I don't know what happens to it when I'm on the iPad, but it's okay. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Let me apologize for Shamera not being here. I will just have to continue to represent her.
Yeah, man. Well, we understand that.
You can get
all
her
that,
by herself.
Yeah. All that traveling, man. Yeah, all that traveling. But Marva, they say if you want something done, you give it to a busy person. And the more you do is the more they give you. More they want you to perform to. So
and that is why at a point in time,
tell us a little bit about this new appointment.
Well, it is World Netball is the new name for INF. INF is still the holding company, but we are called World Netball now. It's a part of a whole new strategic development plan that the board that was appointed in 2019 with the new president, Liz Nichol, set about doing. And everything is kind of fitting into a plan to ultimately to have a successful World Cup in 2023. Now it's going to be in 2027 in Australia, and hopefully we want it to be in the Olympics in 2032.
Okay,
so
wonderful.
What we're doing now is a part of our rebranding and strategic direction. So our values spell the word ethical. And from ethical, there are going to be 11 ambassadors that will be used to spread the gospel of netball around the world and in their various regions. So the T in ethical is teamwork, and I have been asked to be appointed to be the teamwork ambassador across the world. Good. So you have 5 regions, and there are the A in ethical represents the athletes. And so Shamera is the athlete ambassador for the Americas. AFNA has been renamed the Americas Netball. Okay. Our span remains the same: North, South, Central American, and the Caribbean. So, but we are no longer going to be known as AFNA. It's America's Netball. And it's part of the whole global look and feel that we want for the organization. So you have Europe Netball, Africa's Netball, Asia Netball, and Oceania. So the ambassadors that have already been appointed out of the word ethical is the teamwork, that's me. The courage has been appointed, and this is a lady who plays in the Arab Emirates, a cancer survivor through chemo and all of that, still playing her netball. She's the courage ambassador. And the integrity ambassador, which is the I, has been appointed, and that's Gary Burgess, one of our top-rated umpires who resides in England, in Europe, netball. So for me and Shamera, I'm teamwork. The other ambassadors are going to be announced in due course. I think by the end of September, hopefully, we'll hear who the others are. So my role is to promote netball in this region. Well, I would want to say continue to promote it. And so you guys have given me another opportunity to say what it is we're about with respect to World Netball. And of course, one of the things that people always complain about with our sport is that we don't recognize. Well, some people don't think we recognize. Some people don't think we recognize enough the men in our sport. And the position paper will go out shortly, where part of our strategic direction is to recognize men and boys playing our sport, not just being officials, not just being coaches, not just being administrators, but actually playing the game. And that is something that is part of my role, is to show that we are not anti the men in our game, but we are embracing them while recognizing that it originally was a game for women, and it has done a lot for women and girls around the world. But we acknowledge the men not only now as our training partners, but as a part and parcel of the whole gender equality thrust that this strategic plan has been promoting.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. I love watching netball. I can't play, but I'm
you and I. You and I have something in common. So somebody has to do the back office work. So that's us, right?
That's right.
Get the oranges, get the uniforms, organize the transport, organize the training. That's us.
Yes.
That's us. It's us.
It's beautiful.
But I want to say now that the Real Stuff podcast stands ready to assist in any way that we can, and you see that, you know, that you need help in this new journey.
I have a board meeting. I have a board meeting on Friday with the World Body because I sit on that board in addition to being the president for the Americas, and I will be letting them know how fabulous the support has been from the media in this region. Jamaica, I did an interview with a New York-based radio station.
Okay.
I think it was Monday or Tuesday during the lockdown, and I'm doing this now. So we appreciate the support, and I will certainly let the board know of how much, you know, interest exists in this region for the game. Definitely. And what we're doing.
We are always involved in netball, and, you know, we want to continue. You know, we don't have any teams now, but we like to continue. Because netball, I've been among netball from a very, very long time. In Jamaica, in Canada, long time. And of course, the job that you're doing,
okay,
you know, it shows now, you know, that, like I say, they just keep giving you more stuff to do, you know, and I see that you're enjoying it.
Yes, it has its pluses and it has its downsides, but at the end of the day, it's what you love to do. So you try to look on the bright side. For me, I could do it. A lot more could be done if we had a lot more hands on deck.
Okay.
But for now, we're grateful for who we have and what hands we have. And we push it further down the track. My job, my role, because it's not a paying job, my role along with my executive, and we only are 4 plus me, is to push the sport further than we got it when we took office in 2018. Okay. And I do believe that we have done a lot, and we have. So if some things don't get done, I always like to look back at the wish list of those who went before and tick off what was there, and then add on our wish list and push that forward so that the desires of the people who we serve, because we are servant leaders, right? And sometimes the leaders get some really hard licks, but everybody is doing their best. And so I'm very driven to do better for the sport, very driven, and leader. The buck stops with the leader. So one has to carve out more time than everybody else to get it done. So that's just what it is.
Wonderful.
I'm curious if I could ask a question.
Sure.
What is it like working with all these youths? I mean, they're coming from everywhere. So what is this like working with them? Or do you get to interact with the youths? Oh, do we have a freeze? Uh-oh. Okay. We have a slight technical difficulty. It should clear up hopefully in a few seconds. Okay.
When I think you are frozen.
There you are.
Okay, I joined Netball Jamaica as the treasurer in 1993. We got into team management with the under-21s in 1995. Demitted office as president in 2015, serving 10 years. But during all of that time, between 1993 and 1999, I was team manager. I hovered over I was actually team manager and remained a part of the management committee up until 2005 when I became the president. So I'm now over all of them and still involved. And one of the things that we do in Netball Jamaica when I was there is that we go to training every evening. It's a part of our de-stressing, right? And so there was a team around the team. You had the team managers, but there was a team around the team. And I can tell you guys, the greatest lesson, and I've said this ad nauseum, it's a long time I haven't had the opportunity to say it, but your question has brought me right back there to tell you, how do I manage? The greatest joy in my 20-odd years of serving netball in Jamaica was being around and with the players. Wow. I can reach out to Shamera because she was on my under-13 team that won a bronze medal in Scotland. And I use because I really do. I honestly do feel and know that these girls are a part of my life. Right. The joy that I felt, and sometimes when you reflect on everything on your journey, that was the greatest joy. The greatest lessons in life I learned was from being the president of Netball Jamaica and moving even on to this new presidency, which does not bring me in contact with players. But the relationship that I've had over the years with the players, most of them now who are doing so well and are representing Jamaica so well, as you would say, grew up in my hands. Yeah?
Beautiful.
Most all of them. And so, like, it's easy for me to reach out to Shami and, say to her, boy, I'm sorry about not getting to you earlier. And I know them, your children. I know all of them like the back of my hand.
The family, yeah.
My husband knows them because, yes, we are a family.
Beautiful.
We have been family since, and I've with Janelle in 2009, Romelda, her sister. So the relationship that is so solid is there. And, sometimes the memories get you all choked up, but it is good memories. If it was one slice of bread that left, I wouldn't eat it. Mm-hmm. When we got the netball house in 2009, the Prime Minister, then, Bruce Golding, he was my batchmate on campus. Everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. And when I had this dream for a house to put them in, because you're coming in the under 16, the under 21s, and the Prime Minister gave us a house 4 days after that banquet, and he called me and he said, Marva, please meet me at Jamaica House at 10 o'clock. I said, okay, sir. Got down to Jamaica House. I had no idea. I kind of had a feeling in the bottom of my gut because of the banquet and what I said and how I was pushing him, and he knew what we were. Every 10 years, we would gather as a batch. Okay. So everybody would know what everybody was passionate about and doing. And when he took me up to that house, in the car was Minister Grange and the Commissioner of Lands, who was a friend of mine. And we sat in the car. I gave everybody the joke that I had to be in the front and the Prime Minister was in the back because I couldn't hold in the back. With all three of them, we went up there in his, and I like to say his like a rickety-rackety Volvo, right? Because the Prime Minister he wasn't into the flash. And when we got to the outrider was there, and when we got to this gate near my house, God is good, we'd come road, drive, whatever, and the gate open. There was one lady in there watching the house. And Prime Minister Bruce walked through every single room in that house. He didn't send me with Minister Grange and let us look at it. He walked through every room. And I remember when he got to the swimming pool area, water never in the pool, it's an older government house, right?
Right.
I remember seeing him fold his hands across his waist and he put his finger on his nose. And he said, how vivid the recollection is. He said, Marva, can this work? I said, work, sir. He said, if it can work, you can have it. I don't have 1 cent to give it to fix it up, but you can have it for the girls. And let me tell you something. Wow. I said, we will make it work, sir. That's and right. He drove back out, went back down to Jamaica House. I jumped in my car. I phoned Molly Rowan and I phoned the manager and the netball officer. Said, lock the office and come. Governor, the Prime Minister give us a house. And that house was the hub of activity for netball for 2010 up until when I left. Everything happened there. The only thing that I never get to hold there was a wedding because none of the girls had been decided to get married during that time, right? Because if any of them had put up their hand and says, Miss, I'm going to get married, there was a gazebo there, so we would have had a wedding there. But you know what, I remember seeing the joy on their faces when they come. They camp there. We watch Romelda's finals there. We have press conferences there. We have celebrations there. It was the hub of activity for them. And they would sleep over. I would watch them when we have functions. They would go inside, and each person had their own space, their own room, their own. Right. And this is not only the seniors, right? We had the under 21s there, but the joke of the matter is when the under 21s camped there, I said, okay, you don't earn the right to be in here yet, right? So, you could open your eyes on them, and I said, we're not going to mash up this place. Right. Let me tell you something. Courts came in and
Oh, we're not hearing you.
Internet freeze again.
Miss Bernard, it froze again on us. I don't know if you're hearing us, but we're not hearing you.
But this kind of joy is what I'm talking about. When you sit down and you remember, as we like to call it, the good old days.
Yes.
Are you here?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. I remember Romelda was playing a finals one night. Mm-hmm. Well, it's night for us, right? And we all gathered. Jill McIntosh was here with us at the time. And I remember Coach Mineth Reynolds, Jill, myself. I don't remember who was the team manager. And the girl said, you got to wear white or purple or you can't come. She said, the netball host, I'm telling us we can't come if we don't wear white or purple because Romelda's colors were purple.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, by the time courts had given us a big screen TV and the girls hooked up their computers, I don't know what they did, but Jill and myself and Minette came dressed in our white or purple, and they served us popcorn and chips, and I was to sit. My chair was my chair up until when I demitted office was the one chair that we got when we got that house.
Wow. And
courts refurbished it for us. And so that was my chair. And I sat in that chair and we watched Romelda play and cheered just as if we were in the stands in Queensland with her. So the children of the children, those mothers who had babies or the coaches who had children going to school, when we got to training, we would watch over them. I see Minette's daughter right now practicing her dancing. She's a talented. Was practicing her shooting. This other one daughter doing her homework. And so we made it so you guys bringing back some really serious memories for me this morning, just asking me about my relationship with the players.
Love it.
Yeah.
We have someone in the chat room. Miss Bernard, sorry to interrupt. Her name is Antonia Valier. She's a poet in Jamaica. She's a youth. And she says she can hear the passion and emotions in your voice you doing amazing work. She wanted to let you know that. Thanks, Antonia.
Tell her thanks. Sometimes I don't like to talk about it because it's mixed emotions, right?
Yeah.
We used to gather them out of my home. I mean, when they came, the last batch, even before I was the president, we would have parties for them or gatherings to be at the side of my home. This is why my husband is so involved with knowing about them, yeah? But one of the things I say to you is that family, it became more family. And you remember the good times, you remember we are falling out, but the relationship is so solid that, like any family, you don't forget. So when I go back and think about the journey, I dry my tears and I get back in the ring, me and them. I remember carrying a group to Canada, my first tour, and they would put rollers in my hair, and all of us would be we were staying at a university. I should see me and them in the bed, as you Jamaicans would know, so take him a preke, right? Well,
I haven't heard that since I was a kid. Wow.
I'm telling you. But these are the things that you come up with. And the under 21s have a level of, you allow them as not as much leeway as the adults, and you can open your eyes on the under 21s until they become seniors, because I remember we used to tell the under 21s, Shamera would remember this meeting we had around the table before we left to go to Scotland in 2013, and we do have the ackee and saltfish after breakfast, and then finicky. And I remember gathering them around the table at Netball House, or at the dining table, everything. We ate around the table. We had people come in and teach them the soft skills, right? And I said, I don't want, when you go to Canada, you give the manager in Scotland, manager any trouble, because we're not going to get ackee and saltfish and all them things for breakfast. So please. And I went around the table and asked them what they eat for breakfast. And I'll never forget this. One girl said, drink water and go to school, miss. That's she had for breakfast in the mornings before. And those things just made you get really humble. It made you know that you have to go around again and look after these and make sure that anywhere the money coming from, if you beg it, you have to get plenty no's from the sponsors, but you have to look after them. And those ones were told, look, you don't have a helper here. So I don't want to see you coming out of here unless you wash your face. I give them 5 things to do. When you get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, make your bed, sit in the room. And one day I saw one of them going into the bus. They have weaves, different kinds and quality weaves. And I saw her rolling into the bus. I said, where are you going? Because she was going to the physio. I said, going to the physio like that? Go back inside and comb your hair. So I added a 5th one to it and said, comb your hair, wash your face, brush your teeth. But when they're that young, I could tell you so many stories.
But do you know
many stories about me and them? And
do you know, Miss Bernard, you made what you're describing and sharing. These are things that are so vital to you on a daily basis. So the fact that you were providing this for these youths, I personally feel that this even made their game even stronger. It gives them inspiration. I don't think you even see what you've done. This is very, very big. It's important.
To me, I don't have any biological children. And that's my best friend who knows my journey. One day said to me, look here, if you did have one picnic for yourself, you couldn't do all of this because you'd be so jealous. Here, to know them is to love them, don't you know?
Right.
And let me tell you something, it's not easy with so many girls, with so many different personalities.
Oh, yeah.
But early in the day, I recognized that coaches were going to dog them. I'm so glad I'm talking to people who understand what I'm saying. Coaches were going to dog them. Mm-hmm. And my responsibility along with the team managers is to put that egg back together again and have them ready to go there and play.
Oh yeah.
And Mrs. Rowan had said to me when she gave me the job as a manager, she said, I don't want them to worry about what they have to eat, what they have to wear, how they're going to get to and from training. All I want them to do is to focus on playing. And as long as you have this in front of you, you'll be able to carry out the mandate of me asking you to be the team manager. I never forgot it. So we look about their travel arrangements. Yeah.
Yes, as you say that, can you say something about what happened last week? With the buses? Yes.
I think it's a really sad time when our country seems to have lost their way. We hear about things happening, but when you think of a sport that has brought glory, a sport that everybody knows about, the team buses. One bus had when Mrs. Rowan was the president. The second bus was what JPS gave us in 2009. After that banquet, we also did want another car, and we got a bus. And to think that people would actually come in to the home to have the time to strip it and drive it out is just really sad. And they obviously have been watching the home so that they could see how much movement was taking place there and time their wicked self to be able to sit down in there and strip those buses and drive them away without nobody hearing. We're not our brother's keepers anymore,
It's true.
We're not our brother's keepers. And I don't. So up to this morning, I went to the bank and
So Flavius, you're saying those buses were stolen?
Yeah, both of them. One time.
Wow. And no location have been found after where they were, ditched. That mean them gone totally.
No, man, they weren't ditched, I don't think. I think they were scrapped.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to them, but there were two buses and one,
Shame.
Every black branded buses, It's not plain buses.
Oh, so they're visible. Okay.
Yeah.
But the people don't know who did it.
Somebody knows.
As she said, we're not our brother's keeper no more. It's true. And this is the second time I'm hearing somebody say that on this platform.
Bus, they carry them to church. It does everything.
It's disgraceful, man.
Fully used, it don't park. We used to park it at a complex on Half a Tree Road where there was some security, but it was up, and this was at the courtesy of one of our former presidents, right? Sharon Donaldson. She used to allow the buses to park down there. Development comes with a price, and so that whole area businesses, and so we could no longer park the.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to be worrying about that. I mean, it's a national bus.
Yeah.
It's not just an ordinary bus,
Courtney, did you want to say something? I see you there.
For the years of represented us well, and everybody loved this.
Yeah, Marva, just a quick question here. I
Parents
just want to
can't
know.
come for them at training.
Marva, Courtney want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how's your relationship with Netball Jamaica, seeing that you didn't get their support in your new appointment?
The it's a very professional relationship that we have. And early in the day, I've learned that you have to accept your feelings and behave appropriately and move on. We do enjoy a professional relationship, but my time is so focused on trying to make a difference in the region, you know, of which Netball Jamaica is a part. But we do enjoy a professional relationship. I'm a life member, so I've attended up to the last AGM, and I expressed my views as I have a voice. No vote, but I have a voice. So all good.
Okay, we have a few people in the chat room. We have Brother Felton and Brother Errol, and they just wanted to say blessings and big up to you, Mrs. Bernard. They're just sending some love.
Tell them thanks from me. Yes, tell them very many thanks. Sports is Nelson. I've been watching sports now in this country, and I must tell you, better we look on the field and see how the athletes are doing, because I've been recently saying to my colleagues, you know, what did Nelson Mandela say about sports again? It's supposed to be a great unifier. Well,
yes.
We have seen signs where, you know, nothing is wrong in the world, you know, see people that's in the world. So what those of us who, for me, I try to focus on my business at hand, making a difference. One of the challenges that I face in this region is changing paradigms and changing how people think. I am strong in succession planning, so my term of office that I have set myself is to demit office as president of the region in October 2022. I'm only serving one term. I would like to make a difference in the term that I have been appointed. And then I go to the world body for one more year. And I will leave that board because they believe in term limits, and I would have served 12 years on the board, some before and now another 4. I intend to use the time that I have very wisely and very well with the help of the people that are around. But I think that some of us stay too long in the arena, and I see, you know, I see the tears. I see my tears, I dry my tears, and I get back in the ring. I see the tears of some people who just can't seem to get ahead in the era that they choose. And I find that people will come to me and say, boy, Marva, Miss B, I can't hack this anymore. I'm going to quit. And I will say, no, you can't quit. And I try to encourage them to stay. But there's so much that can be done, but succession planning is something that I believe in. We're having governance webinars right now as we speak, because I would like to empower those who are coming after us. Right. People say knowledge is power. It is. That's why some people don't share it. Sharing it is what is empowering. And younger people see us people in the arena sitting there year after year. And although we say, yeah, we believe this, with our actions don't encourage them to stay and want to serve. So we train them, and hopefully they will stay the course. I don't think we're trying to train enough coaches to deploy in the region, because teams, you have to pick good players in the first instance, right? As a friend of mine said to me, Marva, you can't carry a donkey to Kentucky Derby, right? So you have to be able to pick a team of people who can go to Kentucky Derby, but you also need to train them. Right. So we have to certify the coaches. We are on a drive to certify coaches. I remember my mouth always get me in trouble, and people say I said this and I said that, but sometimes I don't fill in the blanks. Right. But going through my journey in leadership in netball, I believe that people should be certified teach. I would dare say that this administration that I am so privileged to be.
Yes.
Marva, the last time you were here, we were in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Could you say a little bit about that initiative?
Oh, that is another heartwarming initiative. Didn't engage the services of a sports psychologist for these ladies, yeah? So Dr. Olivia Rose, who is based in Jamaica, responded to my plea, and she conducted 5 sessions on coping. It's a certificate course that she's given to the survivors of the yes. And so every Wednesday, she conducted this 1.5-hour session for those national players and those who were displaced. And I can tell you, I learned a lot on coping from Dr. Rose, and so did the players. We also had retired Colonel Jamie Ogilvie, who served in Haiti, and he also served in Domrep when they had the hurricane and the earthquake. He came on and also gave them a motivational talk.
Okay.
Yes, Marva, just one more quick question before closing time.
It needed service for them.
Go right ahead, Courtney.
So that was the situation with St. Vincent.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, we have about approximately 5 to 6 more minutes before we wrap up. So, Courtney, you had a question? I heard you were saying something.
Yes, I just want to ask her, with her 40 years in netball, what is her greatest, she think is her greatest achievement?
Oh my goodness. Some things come to my mind. The development program that was put in place in 2007, where Scotiabank came on board and gave us about a 3-year sponsorship. And we put the under-14 team in place. And that under-14 team fed into under-16, that fed into under-21, that became Sunshine Girls. So when I look at Khadijah Williams and some of these players who are playing now, Shanice Beckford, they came off of the under-14. Getting a home for the girls is a tangible, because and that wasn't just me alone wanting that home. It was a dream for all of us presidents who, before me, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time with the right contacts. And I do believe that living good with people makes those things happen. I also think of incorporating Netball Jamaica. And that when that came as a result of getting the house and me going to the land commissioner, a friend of mine, and said, "Can I get the keys?" And she said, "What? Are you an incorporated entity?" I said, "No." And I remember over the years hearing the and I said, "Should we or should we not?" So I think that getting the charitable status for Jamaica Netball Association, getting the name Netball Jamaica, forming the foundation was also under my tenure. And we also got a huge USAID grant, I think a 1.6 million US, that was also under my time, where we were able to use that money to go into communities and try and affect lives through the use of the funding from USAID. So some of those things come to mind. So when I look at the national team today and I see the girls, Romelda, Shamera, Khadija, Adine, Janelle, Shanice, you see your efforts. Right. You see your efforts, and sometimes it chokes you up. But you know that these girls will always be in your heart. You look back at the ones who have left, Simone, Sasha, Paula, Nicole. You think of the work that we have done. So I don't look at it as any one. I look at it as a number of things. When we won the bronze medal in Scotland in 2013. Or 14, right now everything. So I think it's 2014. There's a gentleman who is Windrush, Professor Sir Jeff Palmer. He came to us and supported us in Scotland, and that gentleman gave us the original map of Jamaica. When we came third, he bought it. You can imagine how much money it cost. It was drawn in 1729. The man would have to walk around the island to draw that map. He gave it to Jamaica Netball Association. I gave it to National Library because there's no way that we could keep something like that. And to this day, anything that man gentleman published, he always sends it down here. And I remember that Jane got a gift and gave it to the National Library. So there are a lot of memories. And as I can tell you, I'm in touch with all of these girls, almost all of them, if it's not once a month, once a week, every now and then. Mm-hmm. And they bring the babies to show me when the baby's born. So they come to the house and they bring the babies, and you see the next generation, So it has been a good reign. So my achievements come emotionally; they come intangible and tangible.
Let
me tell you something, though.
Okay, go ahead.
There's one thing: all of what I achieved could not be achieved without the whole body of people who were working along with me. I was the face, but I tell people all the time there was a body of workers that I was blessed with during my time as president that made all of what is under my name possible. All of this. I couldn't do this by myself. And the team is also emotionally attached. We are emotionally attached, the team, just like with the girls.
Oh yes. As we move forward, do you want to tell us anything about what your plans are for this new team role, team ambassador?
Continue to do interviews like this. Continue to promote the changes that we are looking forward with the embracing of the men and boys netball. We're having a tournament in St. Vincent and the Grenadines August next year, a male championship, the first of its kind in the region.
Really?
And yes, it's going to be in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, yes. And I'm already working on the terms of agreement, but I will one of my good friends said to me, Marva, you're just going to have to continue to do what you have been doing over the years, because this is free PR. I wonder if you know this is free PR that I'm getting here for netball.
Wow.
So that's what I'll be doing. Shamera and myself in the region.
Wonderful.
I'm sure if, I ask her for you if she would want to do, maybe what you could do is to reach out to her. I gave her, since, she couldn't be here today, but let me tell you,
yes,
it's just really heartwarming to watch how they have grown.
Oh, yes.
Self-confident. They no words.
With that, I hate to have to be the one to say time. It's 12 o'clock and we have to wrap up. However, I want to thank you so much, Mrs. Bernard, for being here again with us on the Real Stuff Podcast. I have sent you I contacted you on Facebook. and to see if I could help you in any way to promote the netball group and what you're doing and the team. And, it's wonderful having you here. And so thank you again for sharing that with us. We're going to wrap it up.
Thank you so much for having me.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
We'll do it again. Trust me.
Thank you. I love your headpiece. I love your headpiece. I have to go to Africa to World Cup looking like that.
Oh, yes. We are Africa. We are Africa. Whether we acknowledge it or not, all of us are Africa.
Thank you.
Blessed love.
Before we go, I must tell Marva, since she is involved with youth all over the region, we now have a youth section to the podcast. It's Caribbean and African Youth Voices.
Okay. Tell me some more about it and I can put it on our page. There's an America's Netball Facebook page. You may want to like it and then you will see what we're doing. It's not as active as I would like, but I have Conkel Blaine from the USA who posts for me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
We're trying to get,
but a lot of the associations have.
We're trying to get, the voices of the youth in the region, what they think, what they want.
We have to continue to listen to them. I have placed my whole everything in their hands now. I have placed, and guess what? My friend the other day, I wanted to go to the tax office and I said to my friend, anybody down there? She said, anybody I know dead or retired. Ask one of your young netballers. And she called their name, and it did work. And I put it on Facebook as a joke. And a second one called me and said, Miss B, I know somebody, and they have taken my situation and have gone away with it. So look, it's about time we recognize that we are on the plane of life and empower and let these young people take us forward because they want to. We just must not clog up the passage so that they don't get an opportunity.
Yeah,
and I commend you for that.
We will be speaking to you about you helping us, because we are also setting up a small group of advisors to the youths. So we'll speak to you.
I'll do my best. I'll try to create balance. If I tell you no, it's not because I don't want to, but I have to get rid of something off my table and therefore put it in. But it's a good thing you're doing.
It's not.
Davis, when we can Marva have that talk half of the year. So you can't do that half of the
problem.
year. Yeah, because we got to go. Thank you very much, Marva. I was in contact with Shamera, and she sent her apology and her love and said that she will be available in time we need her. Just contact her. So that was wonderful. She couldn't make it this morning because she was busy.
And one of the things you will be because this is the kind of thing that we do for the World Net. So let me know when you're talking to Shami and I will.
Definitely.
No problem.
Definitely, yeah.
We want to thank all our viewers this morning. I want to thank you definitely. My time coming here. I'm pushing it. But today your sound, this is the second time I see your sound so passionate. I can hear it in your voice. So I know it's definitely dear to you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for being here, and congratulations on your achievement.
Thank you. You see, netball is the people. It's always about the people that get into your heart and tug away at it. It's about the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is netball? The people. I tell administrators if we didn't have athletes to look about, there'd be no need for us.
True.
So we must always put ourselves last and get the people. It's the reason why we are serving out there.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome. The forum is yours anytime. So my people out there, live and love every moment of your life. Be grateful for each new day. Cherish your family and friends. Bless others. Keep the faith. Never lose hope, and remember, prayer changes things regardless of what religion you belong to. You must pray and continue to pray. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share the video, because the object of this channel is to educate and entertain you as well. And this is Your Caribbean Podcast. Remember that, Your Caribbean Podcast. So we're going to ask the Queen Lubafu to take us out And she's going to say the Our Father in the language of the Garifuna. And Tafina will take with myself to take us out of here. So on behalf of Max Wanette, Francine, Flavius, Courtney, and myself, we want to thank you all for being here, those in the chat room. Max, who's in the chat room this morning on YouTube?
Well, we have Felton, Antonia, Errol Bean, and that's who we have there.
All right, want to thank all of those people in the chat room, those who didn't participate and those who did, for taking time out of your busy schedule, whether it's morning, evening, or night, wherever you are. Thank you very much for joining us. So, Queen Labarfo, take us out of here.
You lead us to full. You be lamb, away away. Ajuguala, lebo buseru. Lida mua, lida sungfula. Lida mua, lida sungfula.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know send me if it could flee. Me I feel take away me say.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
I like a thief in the night. Me I forget all the side. I feel